you remember the first time you encountered the series, the Attack on Titan series?
Yes. There was an anime club in my high school, so I went and joined it, and we watched the first episode of Attack on Titan, and I was like, oh no, I gotta go home, I gotta watch this. The music, the animation, the characters, I loved Mikasa. I was like, I gotta know her, I need to know her.
Like 6th, 7th grade?
Something like that.
Yeah, we're seniors in high school, so we've been following it since like
20 years?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Attack on Titan was like the third anime ever that I watched, period. I started watching it because of a YouTuber that I watched that started talking about it.
It was Adult Swim. It was probably like, I don't know, like 1 or something. And it was in like not even like a good TV. It was in like a small little shoddy TV in like some farmhouse. I was just like, I just saw it and I was like, yeah, this is it.
When I watched it for the first time, it was actually because he told me to watch it. He was like, bro, you gotta watch this show, it's nuts. And then I watched the first episode and I was like blown away. And I was like, oh my God.
I was shocked out of my mind. I couldn't like believe what was happening, and like at the time like some episodes had already come out, so I was instantly hooked.
I was scared because I was 11 when I first watched it, so naturally I was like, I don't know what's going on. But the story was really intriguing, and then as the first season, like as I kept watching the first season, I was like, oh, you start learning more and more about the characters and more about like Titans and things like that. So it was really cool.
The only other anime I'd watched before that was Blue Exorcist. So it was a little spooked, but I really enjoyed the animation and where the plot was going. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like instant love. I fell in love with it.
Just watching this monster just appear at this wall, and then suddenly a bunch of smaller monsters just start to come through this wall.
They told me it was about gore and violence, but then once I watched it, it was a whole roller coaster of the first episode. I've never experienced an episode like that. So for me, it was really excited.
The anime, but not the manga. After it was the Marley arc, I stopped reading it. But then after I heard season 4 was coming back, I caught up right away.
The manga, yeah, the manga it always has, goes into depth. The anime can only show so much. The anime has to cut out certain things for time restraints, and I just really enjoy like some of the manga moments, the small details that you might not be able to catch in the anime.
Yeah, so a couple months after watching Attack on Titan, I started getting more and more into anime, and I was like, oh, there's like book versions of anime and stuff like that. So I didn't read the Attack on Titan manga till like last month because I didn't want people to spoil season 4 for me. But I read a couple of chapters and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Admittedly, I am an anime only. So I started with the anime and I desperately waited for season 2 because I always thought it would happen, but I also wasn't sure if it was happening. It seemed like they were just they were saying they were going to make it, wasn't sure if they would make it. It's always so funny that season 2 aired on April 1st. I always just like, it's like Attack on Titan's never getting a season 2. April Fools, it's coming out now. But I'm not one of those like elitists. I wouldn't say the manga's worse or better than the anime. Anime is just how I started, anime is how I want to finish. It's just, but I also think the anime is just so good.
So you remember the scene. What is it?
In a way, it's the villain origin story. It's like the origin story for why Eren is so hateful in a way. This is where his actual hate for Titans began. Justified hate, before it's just like, oh, well, we can't go outside the walls because of these Titans, but now it's like, a Titan ate my mom, and he had to watch. And seeing Carla, his mother, saying don't go, and she's crying in that panel, that breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Probably one of the greatest first episodes, first chapter of any anime manga. I think that was the instant grabber for me. I was like, wow, in the first episode they did that.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene. I just thought, oh well, she's dead. Oh, and that was when I first thought the Titans were scary. I was also terrified about how big his mouth got. I don't like they're humans, but is that humanly possible? And also the Titans. Why does the Titan's hair look kind of like Mika says? I'm just noticing this now, but why does the Titan's hair look like Mika says?
It hooked me. That was honestly one of the best beginnings to any anime I've seen.
It's the scene when it happens and the scene where I was just never the same after, because it's when he eats his mom, and like it's just an amazing scene, and that was the moment when I was like, I need to keep watching.